dear student, welcome to the virtual class of HRM. Now in this lecture, we are going to learn significance of HRP, human resource planning, or importance of human resource planning. Let's start with the points of HRP significance. The first point is HRP or HRP helps estimating future personnel needs, or in a simple word we can say that how many employees we require in the organization in the future. We can easily estimate the number of employees we require in the organization in the future, easily estimated. So it is the first importance of the HRP, or it is the significance of the HRP. Like, with the help of human resource planning, future personnel needs can be estimated. Lack of effective planning result in surplus or deficiency in staff strength. Business enterprises facing the problems of excess of staff have to resort to some costly corrective measures like voluntary retirement scheme to overcome the problem. This has been the case with many business undertakings in India, particularly public sector undertakings. Okay, so with the help of HRP, human resource planning, we can easily estimate the exact number of personnel means the person who are going to work in the organization, or the person is actually going to perform the activities in the organization. It's called personnel, or ultimately the employees. So it helps estimating future personnel needs. Okay, it is the significance of HRP. Second is, it is a part of strategic planning. It is the part of strategic planning to focus HRP, because if we are focusing on to the strategy, okay, so in this strategy we have to decide that how many numbers of, or how many employees we require in the future, which types of employees we require in the future. So it is the ultimately part of the strategy. So here we can say that human resource management should be an integral part of strategic management process. Human resource planning has its role to play in the beginning as well as at the end of the strategic planning process. At the first stage, it contributes in terms of ensuring the availability of required personnel, number and types to pursue a given strategy. At the end, when it comes to implementation of the selected strategy, resources allocations need to be done. Decision need to be taken for the required structure, process and human resources. Here HRP has its role to play. Okay, so it is the significance. Third point is, it ensure continuous supply of highly talented personnel. Here we can say that it ensure continuous supply of highly talented personnel. So HRP will give and ensure that they will provide the highly talented employees in the organization for the in the future. So HR managers crucial responsibility is to attract and retain highly qualified personnel in view of changing nature of jobs, which are becoming more intellectual nowadays. Manpower planning helps preventing shortage created by job hopper. Technological changes bring change in the nature of jobs and requirement of people in terms of number and types. This can be managed well with the help of manpower planning or human resource planning. Succession planning is also an important fact of human resource planning. So it is the third significance of human resource planning. The fourth one is, it ensures successful implementation of international business strategy. With increases in the global operations, the need to integrate HRP with organizations' strategy plans with increase. Due to increasing level of international operations, meeting staff's need would become complex, and other incidental cultural, languages and developmental considerations would add to the complexities. as competitions for foreign executives is increasing, it is necessary to give due importance to human resource planning, otherwise it may result into expensive and strategically disadvantageous turnover among key decision markets or makers. The fifth one is it provides foundation for other personnel functions. Okay, other other personnel functions are designed and implemented on the basis of information provided by human resource planning. These functions such as recruitment, selection, transfer, promotion, layoffs, training and development depends on the information provided by human resource planning. So it is the significance of human resource planning. Okay, the next sixth point is it helps increasing return on the investment in human resources, because whatever amount we are using to getting the employees in the organization and maintaining them in the longer period of time, ultimately we are getting the benefit from that employees. So investment in human assets increases in value over over a period of time. Organizations invest huge amount on human resource either through direct training or job assignment, and that is why it needs to seen that employees are used effectively throughout their career. This is ensured by effective human resource planning. The seventh significance of HRP is it facilitates the functioning of the firm in changing era. There are growing instances of employees' resistances to change move. Moreover, these days, self-evaluations and evaluations loyalty and dedications to the organization is emphasized in the seniority, and an organization cannot assume that it can move employees anytime and anywhere it wants. This increases its importance of human resource planning. So we can say that we can easily managing the employees to accept the changes, and as per the demand of the society, as per the requirement of the society, we can change the human resource planning. It is possible with the help of HRP. The eighth important is it unites the representative of line and staff managers. Corporate human resource staff initiates and executes human resource planning, but input cooperations of all the managers in the organization is required. An individual manager responsible for a particular department would be the best person to tell about the requirement of the department. Thus, communications and coordination between human resource staff and line manager is needed for the planning initiatives. Okay, it offers other benefits also, like it provides a better view of the human resource dimensions of business decision to the top management. It anticipates imbalance before they becomes unmanageable and expensive, thus reducing personnel cost. Okay, it ensures timely identification of talent. It makes the inclusions of women and minority groups in the future growth plans possible, and here it ensures better planning of assignment for the development of managers. So these are the other benefits which we are getting with the help of human resource significance. Okay, so these points are very easy points and you can learn this point easily. Now the next point is also important for your examination, job analysis. First of all, we must clear about the job analysis. Job analysis is nothing but we have to analyze the single point of the job or every aspect of the job. Like we are implementing the different points through which we can analyze the job. For example, the job of collector and job of constable, both points are different. How we can decide the job of collector is very high and the job of constable is very low, or the performance which they have to perform in a particular area, in a particular place, in a particular position is different than in a other department. So here we are using the job analysis. Okay, The knowledge of job is very much important for performing major personnel functions like manpower planning, recruitment and selection. Moreover, standards for the best performance of the job are to be established against which the applicant's qualifications and skills are compared, and accordingly decisions can be taken for putting the most suitable employees on different job positions. This explains the importance of job analysis. Like the concept of job analysis is, it is a complete and detailed study of the job. Okay, the concept of job analysis is what? It is a complete and detailed study of the job. It is like a post-mortem analysis of the job. Why it is the post-mortem of the analysis of the job? Because we need the detailed study of every aspect of the job. That's why we can say that it is like a post-mortem analysis of the job. It is a procedure by which all the relevant informations regarding job is gathered, or we are collecting the information related to the job, every aspect of the job. It is a systematic study with the help of which task, duties and responsibility of a particular job are identified. Okay, so thus US Department of Labor defined job analysis as the process of determining by observation and study and reporting patient's informations relating to the nature of the specific job. It is the determinations of the task which comprises the job and of the skill, knowledge, ability and responsibility required of the worker of a successful performance, and which differentiate one job from all others. So job analysis attempt to collect like following informations. Which types of informations we are collecting under the job analysis? Like first is what all activities a worker has to perform, their timing and motive behind each activities, job requirement and expected human behavior, like use of machine, tools, equipments and other ancillary aids used, like standard of performance in terms of quantity, quality and speed, the framework within which the job is to be performed, like working condition, motivation for work, etc. etc. In a simple word, we can say that job analysis is the description of the complete composition of the job. It exemplifies all the determinable factors related to a specific job. It covers the conditions under which a job is to be performed, the main duties and responsibility, the number and the nature of task involved, qualification and skill required in the performance, other service conditions like working hours, opportunity for advancement and pay, the relation with other jobs, etc. There are two major parts of job analysis, like job description and job specification. Clear? I have discussed this point with you. So concept we have also discussed, like definitions according to Blum. A job analysis is an accurate study of the various components of a job. It is concerned not only with an analysis of the duties and conditions of work, but also with the individual qualifications of the work. According to Scott, Clothing and Spriegel, job analysis is the process of critically evaluating the operations, duties and responsibility of the job. Clear? Here the job major parts of job analysis is job description and job specification. So first of all, what is the meaning of job description? Describe means वर्णन करूँ, describing, okay, and specification means સ્પષ્ટીકરણ કરવું. एकदम क्लियरली કહી દઉં કે કઈ કઈ પોઈન્ટની જરૂર છે. ડિસ્ક્રાઇબમાં વર્ણન કરવું, કોના વિશે વર્ણન થશે? જોબ વિશે. અને સ્પેસિફિકેશનમાં શું હશે? સ્પષ્ટીકરણ થશે કે એકચ્યુઅલી કઈ ક્વોલિટી જોઈએ છે, કયા એક્સપિરિયન્સ જોઈએ છે, કઈ સ્કિલ જોઈએ છે, એ બધું સ્પષ્ટીકરણમાં આવશે. ક્લિયર? So major parts of job analysis is job description and job specification. So first we will learn about the job description, then we will learn about the job specification. Okay, job description. Job description is about the like describing the job. So here it is a statement containing the details of the job, like its title, place of job performance, working conditions and responsibility and duties. It states what is to be done, how it is to be done, and why it is to be done. It describes the formal and correct contents of the job. Like the definition is, it has provide a list of characteristics of a job description is which types of points we should describe under the job description is about the job title, about the job location, about the job summary, reporting to, working condition, job duties, machines to be used, hazards, etc. point must be clear under the job description. For example, if we are reading the newspaper, under that they are giving the information about the job. We require the particular persons in a particular place for the job. For example, we require bank manager in a falana area, in a particular way, in which area, in how many hours, in a working condition, etc point they will describe, like which types of job is it, which types of performance is it, where is the location, what is the reporting time, what is the working condition, job duties, machine to be used, which types of problems if we are facing in this area, etc point we can easily understand the concept of the job. Easily we can say that we are able to describe the job. So it should mention the type and nature of job as well as scope of the job, highlighting all important relationship. It should clearly indicates the duties to be performed. Specific words should be used to describe following aspects of the job, like types of work, degree of complexity and difficulty involved, degree to which job relates, problem are standardized, specific responsibility attached to the job as well as the type of accountability, supervisory responsibility should be identified in precise term. It should serve the basic purpose of making a new employees understand the job clearly by reading the job description. Like primary content of the job description are this, like job title, job location, job summary, reporting to, working condition, job duties, machines to be used, hazards, etc point we can easily understand the job types and job location. So it's called job description. Now the second point is job specification. Specification means spashtikaran. Okay, so it is a statement showing the human qualities and qualifications required for the acceptable performance in any specific job. It describes the required skill, knowledge and training, etc point worker to make him or herself fit and qualified for the job. So these types of information provided or these types of information collected from the job, it's called job specification. For example, which types of degree we require, we if it is the work of, like it is job title is bank manager, so ultimately we can say that the qualification must be in a commerce, it must be in a master degree. So we can say that qualification is nothing but one type of educational degree. Experience, how many years of experience is necessary. For example, in a principal job, minimum 5 years of experience is necessary. If you do not have 5 years of experience in a education field, then you are not eligible for applying in a principal post. So we can say that experience is necessary, so they can specify that how many years of experience is compulsory. Like training, which types of training must be provided to the employee so that they can match up with the job, like which types of skill require responsibility, emotional characteristics, sensory demands, etc point must be clarified under the job specification. Clear? So uses of job analysis is in a human planning, where to use, which types of activities must be depends under the human resource or job analysis. So here we can say that the uses of job analysis, where we are using job analysis, like we are using job analysis under the human resource planning. We know that where we are using the human resource planning, how many numbers, how many employees are necessary or we require in the organization in the near future. So when we are predicting the number of employees we require in the organization, that time job analysis is necessary, because we have to decide how many numbers of employees require, which types of quality require, which types of trainings we are going to provide to the employees. It is ultimately the part of future activities, but we are deciding in the present. That's why job analysis used in human resource planning. Pay fixation is nothing but salary fixation. If the qualification is very high, when training is very high, then we must provide the higher amount of salary, higher amount of pay. So it is here we can say that job analysis will be used when we are deciding the salary of employees. Okay, recruitment, selection, promotion and transfer decision require job analysis. On the basis of job analysis, we can take the decision related to the recruitment, selection, promotion and transfer decisions. Training and development also require job analysis, because if we analyze the job, then we can know that which types of training is necessary to the employees to give, which types of development activities we must perform in the organization, so that employees can get motivated and increase their skill. So these types of decision based on job analysis. So we can say that job analysis is also used under the training and development activities. Health and safety measures is also require the job analysis, because we know that under the specification side and under the job description side, we can easily analyze the job, we can easily find out the problems are going to face in the near future, so that which types of safety measures we must use to solve these problems in the near future. Performance evaluation is also the part of job analysis. With the help of job analysis, we can easily analyze the performance evaluations, or performance evaluation is possible with the help of job analysis, because if we are giving job description and job specification as per the lower level of the organization, then we are comparing this work with the lower level of the employees. When we are giving higher responsibility and authority to the employees, ultimately we can say that we are focusing in the top level of the organization. That time we are able to analyze, evaluate the performance of the employees. If the lower level of the employees, then we are comparing with the lower level of the expectations. When we are comparing with the above level of the organization employees, then we are comparing this with the above level of the expectations. So that performance evaluation is based on job analysis. Clear? Process of job analysis. This point we will learn in the next lecture. That's all for today's lecture. If any students have any doubts in this point, please feel free to ask. Okay, this point you must remember or learn. This point, like major parts of job analysis, must learn that what is job analysis, which are the major parts of the job analysis, and which sub points cover under the job description and job specification. Clear till here? That's all for today's lecture. Next point we will learn in the next lecture, like process of job analysis we will learn in the next lecture. Thank you.